horrible, they are horrible. And so he put in a complaint, and then he just decided, I guess he didn't get the satisfaction that he wanted, and so now he's leaving. Yeah. She's working? Oh, she was working there? I thought you meant she was like shopping there. How much hair did you cut off? Is it like shoulder length? Oh, that's cute. I love Diana Walsh. I love her. Well, maybe she just, maybe she just needed something to do, and she did that to be on the product, and she decided to get a part-time job. That would be my guess. God knows she's got more money than God. Maybe. They've got more money than I know. Frank opened her like a $50,000 CD and money markets and stuff. I know she's got tons of money. Well, yeah, I'll send you some pictures. He's out for 6 weeks, I think. She gets 12 weeks. He gets 6. Well, I'm sorry, women get. The mother gets 12 weeks. Yeah, no, she doesn't work. But I'm pretty sure he gets 6. And we're thinking, we're all kind of, we talked about it, and Frank thinks that they're going to give away his position while he's gone and just send him someplace else and get back. If they even bring him back. Yeah, he is on time most of the time, but he got to the point where Teresa told him, she said, Teresa loves him. But she's like, why don't you let yourself get to the point where you're in your last, your final written warning of blah, 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 blah. Because he has his following, he has his customers and stuff, and she likes the way he deals with the customers, and she likes his TV, and, she likes Frank, she does. And she loves his sense of humor, she loves his personality. So she told him that, Frank, if it gets to the point where I think you need to start looking for another job, she goes, I will give you a heads up and I will tell you. And about a month ago, she called him into her office and she goes, Frank, you need to start looking for another job. He was late again. He was late at the Tyrone branch, I think. And then he got a ticket and was 30 minutes late coming in to our branch because he was speeding to get to work, and he got pulled over and got a speeding ticket. And I don't know, somehow it got back to, because of the Saturday, Precious, oh my God, Precious, have you ever met her? She is, oh my God, she's the new manager at Tyrone. She's awful. She is so freaking ghetto. She's so nasty. She's so unprofessional. Anyway, Precious must have escalated it to somebody about Frank being late, because it got back to Teresa, it probably got to Steve and HR and who knows what. So that's when Teresa called Frank in and said you need to start looking for another job. And then Frank comes over and he goes, Teresa told me this today, and he goes, fuck, nobody's going to leave me, blah, 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 blah. And then, about a couple weeks later, this was before the end of the quarter, Teresa told John to go and audit Frank out of the vault and take over the vault. And it wasn't the quarter for us, the end of the quarter for us to change, and it wasn't time for Frank to have his baby yet. And Frank was pretty sure that they were doing that because he was going to get fired. Well, we were all like Jamal and Nicole, and we're all like leaving that day like, oh my God, that sucks so bad. He's going to have his baby, and they're going to fire him. But he didn't. He's still employed. And then he goes off to, right before he goes off to, he goes to, he was working one day at Tyrone, and the people at Tyrone there's a guy at Tyrone that used to be a teller, and now he's their platform, and I can't think of his, no, he's black. He's like, no, is he black? Yeah, he's black, so he's kind of, Arthur. Do you remember Arthur? I love Kathy, and she acts like she loves me. I don't know if she does, but she's always been super, super sweet to me. So I'm like, what? And Kathy's like, what? And I said, apparently somebody at Tyrone told Frank that they think that he's not coming back there. And she goes, what? She goes, who was it? So I'm trying to get a Frank, and I said, it was Arthur. And she goes, that Arthur? And she goes, he's got a big mouth, and we've talked about his mouth. And she goes, I'm gonna call Precious and tell her to talk to him. And she goes, if I do that, she goes, will that get you in trouble with Frank for telling me? And I said, it could very well, you know, whatever though. And anyway, so Kathy goes and tells Teresa instead. And Teresa calls Frank and says, Frank, you know, I know nothing about that. There's no truth to that. If I hear anything to that effect, I will let you know. You know I will let you know, blah, 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 blah. So Frank comes back, and he's back at our ranch, and he says to me, you know what? He goes, I was reading the fine print on the FMLA, and he says, I never saw this before, but it says they need to, when you go out on FMLA, you'll have a position when you get back, but not necessarily the position that you left, not from the branch that you left. Yeah, yes, exactly. And I'm like, well, yeah, you know, I mean, that happened to Shay, that happened to blah, blah, blah. Yeah, we know that. And he goes, I think I'm going to go out on FMLA, and they're going to put somebody else here and send me somewhere else when I get back. And I said, well, that very well may be, you know. You'd probably be lucky just to have a job when you get back. So when Kathy was there, I said, Kathy, I said, you know, I'm feeling around on this. I said, you know, Teresa really wants you here, and do you like it here? And she goes, yeah, it's cool. I said, do you think you would want to work here? And she was very non-committal. She said, yeah, I know, Teresa, I miss Teresa so much, and I know Teresa wants me here, but I don't know, you know, if, you know, all that lobby choreography would be hard for me, because, you know, yes, yeah, and she goes, I don't know if I can handle all that, and blah, 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 and I don't know if that was her just being on the QT about it, or, you know, I don't know. I don't know if she and Teresa and Steve are planning all this, and, you know, right before Frank comes back, they're gonna slide Kathy. I have no idea. I know that Kathy cannot stand Precious, and I can see why. She is just, she's worse. I'm not sure. She came from a Tampa region. I don't know where she worked before. Precious Green. Her name is Precious Green. She could very well, but I worked with her on Saturday, and Frank was there. I almost told the two of them to get a freaking room. It was embarrassing. They were, her and Frank. Frank likes the black girls, I think. Every black girl that I have ever worked with, he thinks she's hot, and he thinks Precious is hot. I'm like, are you kidding me? She is nasty. Frank, okay, because he's, you know, but she's the branch manager, you know, be a little bit more professional than that. She was talking all ghetto, and she was just so stinking unprofessional, and I could never work with her, ever. She is horrible. I don't know how Kathy can stand it. Kathy hates her, and I can certainly understand why. Kathy, she didn't come right out and say it, but I know she hates her. It's like, you know, Kathy, what do you think of Precious? And Kathy looks at me, and she rolls her eyes back in her head, and she goes, I'm doing the best I can. I'm doing the best I can. She goes, let's just say it's an adjustment, you know, stuff like that. She won't say, oh my God, I hate her, but it's quite obvious that she hates her. By everything she says, she hates her. She, you know, she can't, she's the team lead. She can't come out and say, Kathy's too professional for that, to come right out and say it. But she hates her. Well, I know the only reason I got that is because of you, so I do appreciate that. His item was a thank you too? Thanking you for the review, or? No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. You're right. No, he doesn't. Have you talked to her at all about it? Because, you guys got a 93 or something? She did say that. She always tells us that she really, really loves this team, and I
you know, I don't know if it's her blowing smoke or whatever, but she always says, yeah, she says, well, she says she does. She always says, you know, you guys are the best. You know, we're over last Friday, which was 2.5 weeks into the quarter. We were at almost 500 scorecard already. Yeah. You know, you should have. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You never should have left that range. Did I tell you what I got for a raise? I got 4%. That's the biggest raise I've ever had. I got the biggest raise. I went in there and I fully expected to get nothing, or this is how I feel about myself, or 1% maybe. I thought I'd be really lucky, and if I got 1%, I'd be really happy with that. And she tells me, after she goes through everything, she says, the maximum raise, which is bullshit. The maximum raise is 3%, and you're getting 4%. And then she told Frank too, the maximum raise is 3%. He got over 3% too. And it's like, how can you say the maximum raise is 3% and give somebody more than the maximum raise? Yeah. Well, she said it was Steven. She said the maximum is 3% and Steven gave you 4%. And I'm like, what the cuss is up with that? Why would Steven give you 4%? Was he expecting me to just fall flat on my face? And he said to me a few times he was very proud of me, but I thought that was just Steven being Steven. So he put me there, or let me go there, thinking that I wasn't going to do anything. I was just going to do the operational part of it. He told you that I blew him away? Really? We all wish you had that. Nicole and I were both saying today, I really miss Amy. And I was like, I miss her too. No, she doesn't. You know, she'll hold a grudge for a bit, but well, that was a good session. I haven't had to look for a job in 17 years, and then 20 years before that. So in the last 35 years, I've looked for a job one time in 35 years, and that was my recent job. I don't even know how to freaking look for a job. Yeah, I know Indeed. I should get on there and check it out and see what's out there. I can't see me doing another 10 years of this. I really can't. Well, she's trying really hard. I can see that she's trying. But 1 minute, like today, she pulled me in there and apologized for. She's been, every time I go in there with her for anything, like I want a day off. I never want time off. I did miss about 5 days when Polly was sick, for just being a bad case, or having to take her to the hospital, or having to wait for her while she had her surgery, whatever. I missed a few days, but other than that, then the time for Polly, which was no vacation, I had no vacation, and I wanted a vacation day. And I asked to have Monday off, which is this coming Monday. I asked for it like a month ago. And she goes, you know, Frank's going to probably be out during that time. And I'm like, yeah, I know, but does that mean for 6 weeks nobody can have any time off? And plus, when Shelley had last week off, Teresa was in Birmingham while Shelley was off. Frank was off. That's 3 bankers off, and Nicole called in sick one day. We were down to 3 bankers. And all I'm saying is I want one day. I don't want a week. I just want a day. That's it. And so finally she's like, well, you know, I can't deal with this right now. You know, come and see me in a week. So then I go and I see her, and it's every time I go to her. And she's like, I have to finish this. I only have, you know, I have to go to this in the afternoon. I have to finish this. Come and see me tomorrow about it. And this is what I get from her every time I go in with anything. So finally I said to Nicole last night, you know what? I said, I don't even want to go in and talk to her about anything. I don't want to ask her for anything because she blows me off every time. And Nicole says, go tell her. And I said, no, because if I walk in there to talk to her, she's going to blow me off. So I went home, and Nicole, of course, ran and told Teresa. And Teresa came to me this morning and pulled me into her office and said, first of all, I want to tell you that I was wrong. And she goes, I can admit when I was wrong. And she goes, do you know what I'm talking about? And I said, well, I'm pretty sure Nicole told you what I said to her last night. And she goes, yeah. And she goes, as soon as Nicole said something to me, I realized 3 times I remembered
that I blew you off, and it was probably the last 3 times you came to me, and I realized that. She goes, oh my God, I know exactly what you're talking about. She goes, I'm so sorry. And she goes, I'm so stressed. I've got so much to do. I said, I know you have a lot to do. But when you put me off, and then I have to try to remember to come back to you with the same thing, and then you put me off again, and it was very frustrating. I said, I know it's not directed at me personally, but it's very frustrating for me, and she's like, whatever. So she talked to us, she said she was very sorry. She says, I want you to be able to come to me, blah, blah, blah. She gave me a hug afterwards, and I think she was very sincere. I got my day off. And she said, is there anything else while you're here? Is there anything else you want to talk about? And I needed to switch a shift with Nicole, whatever. But then, when I go in there, when the days when she's all stressed out, which is most days, because she can't multitask. She can barely single task. She cannot multitask at all. She stays there every single day till 6 or 6:30. Sometimes she's there every day at 7:30, 7:45. She's gone in on the weekends. She can't get her shit down. She can't get her shit done. She doesn't have any more shit than you would have had to do. You always got it done, and you ran out in the lobby, and you helped customers, and you lobby led, and you did transactions, and you took care of, you took care of all the audits, you took care of everything. She delegates everything, which is, that's her prerogative. Yeah, she delegates everything, and she still can't get her shit done. And somebody told me, Frank told me, I think Frank, before she got there, he said, she doesn't know how to do shit. She doesn't know how to do anything. And she really doesn't. You go and ask her, she doesn't know the answers to anything. And she's always like, I went in there one day, she had papers. I'm a mess. I'm a mess. But I'm not a branch manager. I went in there, she had papers all over her desk, and she's like, I had something here. I don't know where it is, and she's digging through her. This is what I would do, because I've done it before. But I'm not the manager. And she's like, I've got so many papers here, and I've got so much to do, and I don't know where I put it, and I can't remember what did I call you in here for? And I'm just like, in my mind, I'm going, what the cuts? How did she get here, and how does she stay here when she can't complete a task? It's like she's ADD or OCD or I don't know what, but she probably half the things that you used to do, she has delegated out to everybody else. Everybody's got a pile of little things that you do now that she doesn't take care of. And I don't know what she does. But if she's doing something, like if she's changing a schedule, or you can't talk to her because she can't be distracted from it, or she loses her mind. And I just get sick of, there's no good time to go see her. If she's in her office and I walk up to her, I've been here all day, I stayed till 6 o'clock last night, I got to, and you just give me a little time. Yeah, what are you going to say? Yeah. What's that? No. And then that's when I walk out thinking, I cannot stand working for this woman. She might be a decent human being, but I can't stand working for her as a manager. I can't stand it. And then, she does something where she pulls me in, she's so sincere, she's like, I'm so sorry, and, blah, blah, blah. And I can see she's trying, and then I soften, because I'm not that hard-hearted. So then I soften, and then tomorrow I'll go in, and she'll do something and piss me off again. Like I'll have the drive-through, I'll be doing deposits for the drive-through, and she'll see that, and she'll be doing laundry day, and she'll go, let me just take your order, look, she's almost this person needs this. And maybe it was a big deposit on the drive-through, or maybe my TCR gets jammed, and this person's sitting here staring at me while I'm trying to finish the drive-through. And you shouldn't have sat them with me in the first place when I'm already waiting on a customer. So she can't multitask.
really, really, really hard not to hate her. I know. Well, I know you're always, anytime you I am you back, and half the times I don't even see your I am. Well, maybe I'm not you if you keep writing something.